So during the time that we were dating, my dad, we would go out to, to dinner or a movie or something. We'd come in, sit in the car and talk a little while. And my dad would always come out on the porch and just like look around. Never did that before. And I thought, what's going on with that? I teased him about it later. Because after we got married, he didn't do that anymore. But anyway, we got married October the 1st of that year. And like I said, we've been married since October 1st this year to be 44 years. And, but I don't know. I think at that time, I think we were just both ready. I was 24. Was I 24, I think? We were both around that age.
23, yeah, I was 23.
Yeah. And so we were ready to get married, to look around, like he said. It wasn't not just a dating, we had done that, So, and it just clicked, and what was so strange about it, we went to the same church.
Mm-hmm.
I went to First Baptist. That's my home church all my life. Didn't pay no attention to him. Mm-hmm. He was a class behind me in school. So I was with my class and beyond. I never looked back.
But
anyway.
See, you have to look around.
But that was that we grew up in the same church. All our lives together.
Mm-hmm.
And
sung in the same choir.
And I was friends with his sister. Me and his sister and I are in the same class. So we were friends all the way up together. And
well, then I have to ask, was the church that packed that you didn't see each other?
No. It's just strange. I mean, like I said, you look all around and what's for you is right there in front of you.
And what happened with her cousin my cousin that was hooking us up, when she invited me to her husband's birthday party. Now they're both older than me.
Older.
And I had never really associated with them as far as going to cookouts or parties or nothing like this. So it was odd to me that now you're inviting me to this birthday party. I'm like, why? And she was like, no, why are you inviting me? So I've got somebody I want you to meet. So she told me.
Well, see, I didn't know that, but then what I found out later, and see, I was doing things in the church, working, on committees, doing stuff in the church. And his grandmother, she seemed to favor me, so she was in charge of the missionary, so she had me to speak at his missionary meetings several times. I didn't realize that, and I didn't realize he was being told at the house when he'd come in from work. He said he'd be laying on the floor watching TV, and his dad would say, I know Helen Lee's back home, and she's not
I'm unaware.
Or anything he ain't heard done. Anyway, there were other people kind of working behind the scenes that neither one of us even realized at the time. So I didn't hear any of that until after we got married.
But my grandmother was not looking at me. She was looking at my cousin for Helen. But it worked out this way.
Anyway, it was destined for the Johnson plan, I guess.
One way or the other.
One way or the other.
So.
But anyway, that's how that we got together. And so, and like he said, he worked at TGNY and I worked at social service. And I eventually decided to go back to school. And he was always supportive with whatever I did. Because for me to go back to school, I had to quit work, and I actually left here and went to Durham and worked with Durham's Department of Social Services and Protective Services, and I worked there for about a year, and I was thinking I wanted something a little bit more, so then I did go back to school, went to Central, got a loan and went to Central to work on my master's degree and got my master's in school counseling, concentrating in career counseling. And after I did that, I worked for a year at JF Webb. That was my first counseling job. Wasn't able to get anything here. I applied for several things, didn't work out. So I was content to be in Granville County, but after a year, I got a call from Person County saying they had an opening, and I told Wayne, I said, well, let's try again, and maybe my last opportunity. I did, and that's when I got over to Person Senior, and then eventually changed to Person High School. And I stayed there until I retired in 2014. In the meantime, out of both of our stories, not that we have forgotten, but we had a daughter. That's our only child, Lillian Frances Johnson. And she's named after our grandmothers. My sister and my brother, they came up with her name. And so my grandma Emily, middle name is Frances, and his grandma Lily, and my mother's mother, my grandmother, her middle name was Ann. So that's how we got Lillian, her name. She is 29 years old now. She's engaged to get married. She went to A&T. So, of course, she was exposed to A&T between my dad and myself. But I sent her her junior year it was the rap program. I sent her that summer, hoping that the bug would hit her, and it did. And I was like, thank God, because that's where I wanted her to go, of course. And she did. She had a wonderful experience there. She graduated, and she decided that she wanted to go to beautician school. And so she also went back to school, got her cosmetology degree I went to Guilford Tech, and she is just opened up her shop in Greensboro. So we're real proud of her. She makes wigs. She does the whole 9 yards with that. She loves it, and she's doing extremely well. So, and she's engaged to get married next May 16th of 2022. And we like the young man. He's also a graduate of A&T. And so we're really happy and content about that.